Great.
Next time, we go total.
And we will start the meeting with the review of last month's minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes?
Yes, I have.
All right. I believe, Fran, that you already had a comment about the minutes.
Yes, my name is spelled incorrectly and correctly in several spots. So do you want to go?
I think, why don't we just make the one change across all the spots? Please, for the record, correct the minutes for the
Okay.
spelling of your name.
For the record, please correct my name to read Collier-CLEMMONS in all places where it is CLEMONS, beginning with attendance.
So right there, it should have two M's.
Right.
All right. Any other changes on page 1? Any changes on page 2, other than the correction to Ms. Collier-Clemens' spelling? Any other changes on page 3? As part of this is maybe a question of order, Russell or Lamond, you may have an opinion on this. As part of the nomination for the slate, I believe there was technically a vote to have us, like, it wasn't just we were nominated as the slate and then were elected by the commission to serve those roles, right? Like, those are two different steps.
Correct.
So I think we need to say there was a vote or something to.
There was
held.
one
There
vote.
was a motion to vote John Church as chair and Fran Collier-Clemens as vice chair or something, right?
With
Saying-
one vote.
Yeah.
The commission,
Right. It's noted
the
in the minutes
commission,
that one
not
vote was cast.
the commission vote, cast one vote for Mr. Church and one vote for Ms. Collier-Clemens.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
that's a good correction.
Yes,
Okay. To clarify that it's not the nominating committee that cast the
Right.
vote. And it wasn't, she
Absolutely.
said, it's just the commission cast one
Right.
vote. Okay.
Mhm.
Any other changes here? Hearing none. Do we have a motion?
Sonia Oliver, motion.
second Collier-Clemens.
All in favor? Accepting the minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Great. On to Chair's report. Thank you, everybody, for joining tonight. Welcome back. I hope everybody had a great Labor Day. I hope that you all had a lovely summer. It still feels like summer, but the weather is starting to turn, and leaves are starting to fall. So soon fall will be here. We have a couple of new cases tonight that I'm going to turn over the floor to Attorney Liskov to discuss.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Russell Liskov for the Fair Rent Commission. I'd like to thank everybody. We got two new fair rent complaints in this month. One of them, the first one is 1813-22.
We should probably do open
Oh, okay.
cases first, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. The only old case that I'm trying to go over here, what they have. The first case is, this is the one, excuse me, where the tenant actually moved out of state. We were waiting for the landlord to give back the security deposit. The landlord did give back the security deposit, and the complainant filed a withdrawal of the file. So I would ask, and I'd recommend that you vote to close the case because there's nothing left to do. There's no tenant moved. They got the security deposit back and everybody's happy. So I'd ask that you vote to close that case.
Fran Collier Clemens moves to close the case of 1807-22.
Peter Halliday seconds. All in favor? Or sorry, any
Aye.
discussion? No, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, vote passes.
All right. The second case I have to report on is 1810-22. This case is basically resolved. I have spoken to the landlord. I have spoken to the tenant. They're doing a new lease together at a reduced rent. But the issue came up was the landlord says they have $2,200 in security. The tenant says they have $4,400 in security, and the tenant has produced us documents showing this $4,400 in security. The problem is with the holiday that came up and the landlord was out of state. I've actually called them today and tried to negotiate, and the landlord still didn't get back to me. So I think by next month, I will have this case fully resolved because someone's got to recognize the security deposit in order to do a new lease. The tenant's not going to walk away from $2,200, and the landlord's not going to get to keep $2,200 of free money. So I would ask at this time the 1810, you take no action on it. And I think next month I can pretty much assure you that the case is going to go away with a new lease.
Sonia Oliver recommends no motion, no action.
Any seconds?
Second, Fran Collier Clemens.
Thanks, Fran. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstentions? Motion passes. Now we can do new cases.
Okay, the new case that came in on 1807, I'm sorry, 1813-22, 31 Glenwood Avenue. I've spoken extensively with the tenant already. I've spoken extensively with the landlord already. They're going to enter into a new lease, but I would ask that you vote to hear the case. I think come next month, you're going to have something on your docket, but it's also going to get resolved by that time. The landlord promised to be sending a new lease through today, but I didn't see it yet. So I would ask that you, I reckon it falls under all the parameters of the jurisdiction of the Fair Rent Commission. So I'd ask that you hear the case.
Sonia Oliver, motion to hear the case.
Fran Collier Clemens seconds.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstentions? All right, motion to hear the case. Thank you.
The next matter is 1814-22. They're asking for a rather large rent increase of $325 a month. And there's other things going on in the matter that I won't tell you about now, but I've spoken to the landlord, I've spoken to the tenant. I think I'm going to be able to negotiate something for both of them, but in any event, it certainly falls within the parameters of the Fair Rent Commission, and I would ask that you, I recommend that you vote to hear the case.
I
Sonia
move.
Oliver, motion to hear the case.
I got Sonia on that one.
Okay. I'll second Fran.
Thanks, Fran. Any discussion?
Yeah, I just want to ask, is this that place that used to be Avalon?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Mike's suffering out.
Russell, I would like to just raise for your awareness, you may already be aware, but we've had situations in the past in fair rent cases where if it is a property that is owned by a large business and there are multiple units in the apartment complex, that if there's one fair rent complaint, there often end up being multiple fair rent complaints because they tend to kind of take the same policy with all of their tenants, and then all of their tenants end up raising similar complaints. I don't know if there's a way in the negotiations here of heading that off at the pass and having someone at the landlord that we can communicate with to explain the nature of the fair rent rules in Norwalk and how our department and commission function, so that there isn't a case of us dealing with this unit or multiple units in this building multiple times over the course of the next few months. But if there is, just take that into consideration as we go through the negotiations, please.
I will do so. And the lady who is in charge of that building was very receptive to talking to me. She's very professional, and she is a holdover from Avalon, so she understands what is going on, and hopefully we can do something. I think this unit is a little unique to other units, but I won't get it. There's a lot of turnover in these buildings. These buildings are turning tenants over rapidly these days because tenants are looking for greener pastures where they can pay less green. So it's not an easy situation for the tenants, and the landlords. All it's going to take is one hiccup in the economy for the landlords to not be as greedy when people can't pay their rents and they start getting backed up. But I'll leave my pontificating, but I do understand your point, and I will do so. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's not specific to this building, but other units in Norwalk have had similar ownership structures that have led to issues. So we just want to, whether it's the tenants talking to themselves or the landlord continuing to have the same issues, you could make a debate on either side. But I think if there's a way of saying, hey, this is the situation, and be aware that as they go through their other rent increases, they could find themselves in similar situations, we could possibly resolve it earlier.
I kind of told them that a little bit, but I appreciate your point, and I will make them cognizant of that fact.
Thank you. Any other discussion on this?
None for me.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? And that means that we have a vote to hear that case. Great. I believe, yeah, this is the complaint withdrawal, so that's great. I believe that is the end for the new cases. And so the next part of our agenda is old business. Anyone for old business? No. Any new business? Then I will hear a motion to adjourn.
I
Sonia
move to
Markle,
adjourn.
I had 3 motions to adjourn. I'm going to give that one to Peter just because he's right next to my ear.
All right. I second.
Long as we adjourn.
Collier Clemens.
All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed? No abstentions? Thank you, everybody.
Good
Have a
night,
great
all.
All right. Good night,
Have
everybody.
a great September, everybody. Thank you so
All right,
much.
bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.